Right.
AM1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
This program is paid for by the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization, and its partners.
You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show, home of Arizona's youth, high school, college sports, and you, empowering education and enabling dreams right here on KDUS AM 1060 in Arizona. And now, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Good morning. What we have in mind is breakfast in bed for 400,000.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Vince Delicio live. Thank you, Mr. Robert Plant, for that nice introduction. And we are, you know what? You can't get enough of a good thing. And sometimes you have to go back to your roots a little bit, remember where you came from. And last week had such a fun time with these wild and crazy people that I decided to come back again. I am back at my parents' house. Yeah, Corey, there we go. We got the nice mood music there. My parents' house, the Delicios, Anna and Pasquale, and let's check in on them really quick. Good morning, Ma. How you doing?
Thank you for having this beautiful show over here. We enjoy it.
Oh, that's good. Thank you. And Pop, how are you?
Pretty good. I feel good when that's a nice show, and I appreciate that.
You appreciate it, huh? Okay. Well, that's good. Well, keep that in mind around the holiday time and when it's, got a birthday coming up in a couple months. Anyway, so anything new going on in your world today? Mom, anything new and exciting happening?
Oh, today? And this, the radio show, this is the most exciting thing today.
Okay, but how about in your life? Anything fun happening these days?
Oh, yeah. I planted the fava beans in the backyard this morning.
A little Chianti. And how about you, Ma?
Yeah, I'm just here.
Yeah, just here? Okay.
I'm here. I don't have a lot of plans.
Okay. Ma, am I a good son?
You are the best.
Okay. If you have to ask, that means you're not. And so, but we do our best. So anyway, we're going to go back to you guys periodically because you are, I need ratings, and you guys are pretty popular on the show. So I got to come back to you periodically and check on you, and that way people keep listening also. So thank you for allowing me to come back, and thanks for making breakfast this morning.
Okay, you're welcome. Nice. You're very welcome.
Okay. All right. So that being said, we're going to transition, and I also want to welcome a very special team member to the show. Every week we've been featuring a couple of our amazing team members, and joining us today, another one. His name is Quinton Presley out of the Cronkite School of Mass Communication. Guys, when I tell you that we are the most popular internship at Cronkite, we have over 30 this semester. Some of these other media outlets want to keep it easy, 1, 2, kind of, do feel like they're doing their part to pay it forward to the next generation. I go all in. We go all in here at the Varsity Sports Show. We have more Cronkite students that are interning with us than any other organization out there. And we are certainly not the biggest. We're one of the smaller ones. But these guys stay pretty busy, and we'll find out exactly why it's such a popular internship. It's not because of me. But Quinton, how are you, sir? Q.
I'm doing fantastic, Vince. Thank you for that introduction. Good morning.
Yeah. So talk to us a little bit about what the appeal was to join the Varsity Sports Show this fall.
I think opportunity. I had a few buddies of mine that did it in previous semesters, and they talked very highly of this internship. They talked very highly of you, and they think, it's your best chance if you want to get real life reps at what you love. And what I love is every aspect of sports journalism. Each week I'm able to get a chance to either do color commentary, which I just had a chance to do this Friday. I've had chances to do cameras so far, and I've had chances to make radio segments. So I'm really liking it.
Awesome. Well, we're happy to have you. It's a lot of fun, I think. It's a little bit of work. And the one thing about it is, if this is a field you want to work in, you're going to stay pretty busy. And we always talk about the grind, how, a few weeks in, it gets really hectic. Oh, we have company today. It gets really hectic, and it has to be a field that you're interested in working in, because if it isn't, or if you're still kind of on the fence, I'd be totally blunt. It's going to start to suck after a while because the work is so heavy, right? I mean,
yeah. Oh no, you definitely have to love the grind, or else the grind doesn't make too much sense.
Yeah. So talk to us about where you were last night. Were you covering a game last night?
Yes, me and a few members of the Varsity Sports Show were over there in Horizon, Scottsdale, Arizona for the game against the Kellis Cougars. And me and Chris were on the call. He was play-by-play. I was color. And it was a very fun game. I think Horizon could have played a lot better for their skill set. I think they're a very deep team. Granted, they scored 44 points, and I'm saying that they could have played better. But Kellis put up a good fight, and it was a lot of fun.
I mean, you talk about a team. We went through, just at face value, you look at the box scores from the past 3 weeks for the Horizon Huskies. They got a brand new head coach in Tyson Ditmore, and they're averaging. They're giving up less than 10 points a game, and they're averaging 47, 48 points on offense per game. I mean, those are some pretty good stats, and this is not a Mickey Mouse league that they're playing in either. I mean, this is a tough league, tough competition, and they're pretty well stacked. I mean, last year we thought the team was good. This year, what are some strong points about this team?
Oh, just watching them last night, and it seemed like they cannot be stopped on the run game. I think they have so many weapons in their arsenal that they can go to. Like Zamorano, he was killing it last night, just pushing up the field. And when they don't want to use their main RB1, their QB has legs himself, Jane Ashley, and he broke away for a 75-yard rushing touchdown in the first quarter. That was kind of the first punch of the game.
Wow.
No,
it was interesting. Yeah, and last year they had kind of a 1-2 punch in the backfield, and this year it sounds a little more of Zamorano. Zamorano was one of those guys last year, but in terms of alternate options in the backfield or in the receiving core, what is that looking like for the Huskies?
See, well, they have this other back that I think is a really good player. Chris was really touching on his potential and his skill set yesterday. His name is Johnny Issett, and he didn't get too many reps, but it seemed like they gave Zamorano 4 or 5 carries in a row. They took him off the field. If you're Kellis, you're thinking, finally, we get a break. Well, now you have Johnny Issett getting 2 or 3 carries for himself, and then he's getting a first down. He's able to pound it just as good as Zamorano does. And then in the air, Jane Ashley was struggling a little bit, but then he got it going later in the game, and he found his wide receivers, Wagner and Partridge. Those are 2 guys, and they, of course, their tight end, Markovich, is an option as well. So I think they really have a star-studded offense over there in Horizon.
Nice. Well, it's exciting, and defensively, they're fairly solid as well. I mean, would you say?
Oh no, definitely. I think they seem very disciplined, but last night they had a ton of penalties, which it would have been a 30, 40-point blowout if they did not have much penalties that they did. However, with that being said, they were just swallowing up plays and stopping it at the line of scrimmage most of the time. So very impressive ball to see. I think they're going to be, like you said, it is not no Mickey Mouse conference. They're playing very good teams, and they're going to be an interesting team to look at this year.
Let's transition real quickly. We've got about a minute before we run one of the post-game interviews from last night. But talk a little bit about yourself. So coming into this thing and some goals that you have set for yourself, both short and long term.
Well, some short-term goals that I have for myself just with the Varsity Sports Show. I want to show up every day and give my absolute best. I want to look back knowing that I was given the opportunity to be able to do these games, and I took advantage of those opportunities by giving it my all every day that I step into the booth.
Nice. And long term, what do you want to do?
Long term, I think I'm wanting to graduate. I'm hoping to graduate with some cum laude honors.
Nice. When are you graduating? Are you graduating this year?
It's spring 25. Yes, I'll be graduating.
Oh, okay. Nice. Okay. And you want to work in TV, radio? Do you have a preference? What do you want to do?
You know, I started off at Santa Barbara City College with radio, and that's what kind of got me going. I love radio, but I think my dream is to work in the television aspect, whether that be behind the scenes or on the field.
Santa Barbara City College, you talk about one of the most magical places on earth.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful area.
It sure is beauty.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's great. Quinton Presley, one of our amazing crew. You're going to hear from Q all hour. This first hour here on the Varsity Sports Show is talking about some of the things he's doing, and obviously was on the call last night for the Horizon victory over Kellis. Congratulations to the Huskies advancing to 3-0. We're going to hear from Coach Tyson Ditmore during the second hour. Guys, we're going to go to a post-game interview last night. We're the broadcast production team for the Mountain View Toros. And speaking of the Huskies, their former coach, Andy Litten, took his team over to Liberty High School, actually, in the Northwest Valley. Wow. And, both teams having exceptional seasons, and only one team could win. And unfortunately, it was not the Toros last night. But, you want to be the best, you got to play the best, and that's what they did last night. So, Corey, let's run that interview.
Paisley Poole here with head coach Andy Litten of the Mountain View Toros. Coach, obviously not what you were hoping for tonight, but what are some positives we can take away?
I'm just really proud of our guys that they're not going to lay down for anybody. We kept battling the whole time. After that really tough first quarter, I thought that our kids came out and really battled them pretty even. I think it ended up being a 14-point game after that. So we can play with a team like that. We got to fix the mistakes. But I'm very, very proud. This team is a team that's my kind of team that's not going to quit.
And do you feel the officials had anything to do with the outcome of the game tonight?
No, I think that it's just a hard-fought game. Bad calls happen, and it happened to both people. But I think that I'm really proud of our guys to battle through adversity, whether it be a call that goes against us or a play. I don't think it was officials. I just think it's, that's a really good football team. So.
And your whole team put in their best efforts tonight. And what can you say about Talon Arnett and his leadership skills on the field?
Yeah, Talon's been a great breakout as a junior, and it's really great when he and Mikey are on the same side, and you have to cover both those kids. We have really good skill positions, and so too many drops for us to win the game tonight, but we fixed that. I think that we're as good a skill group as anybody.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Awesome. So, we're having a blast because we covered 8 games last night. And, of course, our post-game show, which ran on live on 1060 from 10:30 to 11:30, featured the players of the game of each game, not only in Arizona, down into Tucson and into Nevada and Las Vegas game of the week. That show is archived, so the link is posted if you want to hear it. It's on Amazon Music, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud. Every platform. Hey, Q, what do we have coming up after the break?
After the break, we have coming up, where are we? We have some more segments from our fellow Varsity Sports Show.
Yeah.
And we have going into...
Coach Jewell from Brophy will be joining us right after the break as well.
Yes, he will.
Guys, stick around. We're not going anywhere. Come right back after the break here on the Varsity Sports Show.
Bringing you the latest sports topics weekly right here on KDUS, AM 1060 with me, the Doug Gottlieb Show, 1 to 3 p.m.
APAC is your one-stop source for all your automotive and heavy-duty air conditioning parts, supplies, and equipment. They're family-owned and have been the Valley's go-to for all your auto AC needs since 1982. Whether it's for your everyday or vintage car, commercial, or off-road vehicle or equipment, APAC has you covered. Call APAC, AAPAK, the AC experts at 602-254-1116 and ask for the Varsity Special to get 10% off your purchase. Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
Hi everybody, my name is Paisley Poole and I am a senior at Arizona State's Cronkite School. I am so excited to be a part of the Varsity Sports intern team as a sideline reporter and possible color analyst. Friday Night Lights, let's get it.
The Thursday night high school flag football game of the week is back. 8 weeks of coverage beginning Thursday, September 19th. Every game begins at 6 p.m. Join the varsity team as we travel the valley featuring your favorite teams, including Saturday morning radio segments. The Thursday night flag football game of the week is back on the Varsity Sports Show.
You are listening to
the Varsity Sports Show.
The Varsity Sports Show. Thursday night
flag football game of the week.
Flag football game of the week.
Football fans, join the Rooster this Sunday at Casey Jones Grill on 28th Street and Bell Road, where he will be giving out prizes during the Packers-Colts game.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Vince DeLisio live from my parents' house here in North Phoenix. You can't get enough of a good thing, and if you can deal with a little bit of guilt once in a while, you'd be fine. I know there's always things we could do better, and as kids, it doesn't matter how old you are, and so we just need to try. But anyway, we're having a fun time here today, and we are joined on the line. You talk about somebody that's having a fun time. Wow, it's like I don't know. We've got Brophy college prep football coach Jason Jewell on the line with his coach. You're like in Disneyland right now. You guys are 3-0, riding a wave of success. Nothing's gone wrong yet.
I mean, things have gone wrong. We didn't play fantastic in the first half and turned the ball over 3 times and tied 14-14. And our kids showed some moxie and came back and ran the heck out of the football and came away, scored twice, and defense pitched a shutout in the second half. And so I wouldn't say it's been all peaches and cream, Vince, but it is good to be 3-0.
We're joined on the line also, Coach, by Quinton Presley, one of our best and brightest. Q, you've had some questions. You're kind of chomping at the bit here for Coach Jewell. Take it away.
Yes, Coach. Congrats again on that win last night against the Coyotes. I wanted to ask you, what was the message in the locker room at halftime? Like you said, turn the ball over 3 times. And what were you telling the guys to prepare them for the second half?
Really, I was just telling them you have to prepare for a dogfight. It was early on. I told them that pregame as well that it was going to be a fight. And Centennial is a powerhouse program that's done a great job, and there's no one in this state I respect more than Coach Taylor over there. He's done a fantastic job. He's one of the GOATs in coaching, and he always has those guys ready to play. And I knew that we need to come out and set the tone in the third quarter. Told those guys kickoff team was going to be big, and the defense needed to make a stop, and they did, 3 and out. And then we came out and scored and set the tone for the second half.
Thank you, Coach. When you're coming into this second half and the run game is just clicking, what is it like as a coach to just keep making sure your backs are disciplined and ready to keep getting their number called?
Well, it's even more fun for me because I was an offensive lineman myself. So, being able to run the football and demoralize opponents is a big deal.
Most definitely. That's awesome. What is your thoughts going into next week? You got Perry. You're going there. You're on the road.
Hey, Perry's hot. They're 3-0 as well. They had a big win last night against Queen Creek. I have to dive into that film here as soon as I get off the phone with you guys. But, it's going to be, a long road trip, for our kids. It's going to take us about an hour to get over there. And we have to, deal with that little bit of adversity. And come out and play well against a team that's playing well and throwing the heck out of the football and scoring a lot of points. So, again, I got to break it down, but just looking forward to competing against those guys. Should be, 2 teams that are highly ranked in 6A rankings, and should be a lot of fun.
Yes, sir, Coach. What are some players over there that you think you'll have to prepare for? Perry, like you said, is undefeated, as are you.
Well, it looks like just from scrolling through social media last night that Perry's young quarterback Snyder is playing pretty well, and then they have a receiver LJ Walker. I think he had like 200 and something yards receiving last night. So we're gonna have to try to limit those guys from having explosives and big plays.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.
That was, hey, Coach Jewell, thank you so much for joining us, and obviously much success. You know, all kidding aside, I mean, you really are one of the good guys and in this business, and it's been a lot of fun watching you on this wave of success, and I know nothing is guaranteed, but you're putting your best foot forward and best product, and the kids that you have on the team not only are some great athletes, but they're good people as well.
Thank you, Vince. I appreciate you.
Awesome. Okay, Jason Jewell from Brophy College Prep joining us every week for the Brophy Report. And want to send a quick shout-out, and did it last night and can't do it enough during the season. Steve Schaff, who's arguably he's one of the best SIDs, not only in Arizona, but in the country. I mean, at any level. And this guy's worked at the collegiate level, and he was at Notre Dame Prep a few years back. He's now at Brophy Prep. He puts together a professional product. He runs a class also with young aspiring media students, and just really talks about not only the technical aspect of things, but just how to be accountable, responsible, and classy. And Steve Schaff, you're one of the good guys out there as well, and you know, we can't thank you enough for supporting our mission and what we're doing, and you've been a strong advocate of ours, and we in turn are supportive of all the good things that you're doing out there at Brophy. So Q, nice job on that interview. What I want to do is real quickly transition to some amazing reporting from our amazing team, starting with Adrian Carmona from the University of Florida, one of our fine team members. Take it away, Corey.
Hello, I'm Adrian Carmona from the University of Florida for the Varsity Sports Show. Despite a rough start to the season, the Arizona Diamondbacks look primed for another deep playoff run after reaching the World Series last fall. Currently, they are neck and neck with the Padres as the two fight for first place in the NL Wildcard, and both teams are about 5 games back from the LA Dodgers for first place in the NL West. Arizona has one of the best hitting squads in the MLB, as they rank top 5 in home runs, hits, and batting average. Ketel Marte has been the leader of their offensive game, as he has 30 home runs and a batting average of .293, both leading the team. Despite their elite hitting, however, pitching is the one area that the team needs to improve on. The Diamondbacks rank among the bottom of the league in ERA and strikeouts. Zach Allen has been inconsistent for them, as they will need to pick it up for another deep run. Good news for Arizona, however, catcher Gabriel Moreno is close to returning after going on the injured list for a groin injury in August. It is expected that he could return to action for their series against the Milwaukee Brewers in late September, which will be huge for a team looking to contend again for the World Series. From the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Adrian Carmona.
I'm Dawit Gebremariam from Arizona State University for the Varsity Sports Show. Last week marked the beginning of a new NFL season for the Arizona Cardinals. Quarterback Kyler Murray was able to make his Week 1 start against the Buffalo Bills after missing last year's season opener due to an injury. It was an up-and-down day for the 6-year starter against Buffalo, as Murray was able to record 162 yards and 1 TD through the air, with another 57 yards coming on the ground. His performance helped the Cardinals to score 28 points against a solid Buffalo defense. Yet the concern for his performance was due to his lack of rapport with rookie wide receiver Marvin Harisson Jr. Harisson Jr. was drafted 4th overall by the Cardinals, as he was the first wide receiver to come off the draft board. There was a lot of anticipation to see the magic that this duo could provide for the Cardinals offense, but in Week 1, the two seemed to be on 2 different pages. The rookie only registered 1 catch for 4 yards on only 3 targets in Week 1. Late in the 4th quarter, Harisson Jr. was missed by Murray on a potential game-winning touchdown as he broke open in the Bills' secondary. That last drive ultimately ended with no points and a Cardinals loss, as they were defeated 34-28 by the Buffalo Bills. The quarterback and receiver duo will look to improve their performance in Week 2, as they host the divisional opponent, Los Angeles Rams. LA comes in 0-1 after losing a Sunday night nail-biter to the Detroit Lions, 26-20. Both the Cardinals and the Rams will be looking to get their first win of this young season, which should lead to an exciting Week 2 game. For the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Dawit Gebremariam.
Hi, I'm Janice Reyes, and I am a student from Arizona State University. And today I will be talking about the Arizona State University soccer team. So far, one incredible performance was against Wagner College. ASU won 6-0, and against LSU, where the final score was 5-2. On one of their latest games against Utah Tech, Cameron Valadez, junior forward, scored the winning goal at minute 90. The final score was 2-1. The next home game is against West Virginia on Thursday, September 26 at 7 p.m. West Virginia has been having somewhat of an okay season so far. They had a great win against Radford University with the final score of 5-0. ASU has a couple of players to watch out for during their upcoming matchup. Agina Respas and Dillery Heredia are definitely going to put up a fight against Arizona State. Once again, I'm Janice Reyes, and this was Varsity Sports.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060, KDUS Arizona. Vince DeLisio live from my parents' house, second week in a row, and it's a good thing on a Saturday morning. And but we are this train is rolling. This isn't playtime here. We're working. So joining me on the line, Quinton Presley from our amazing team. Q, what do we have coming up after the break?
Hey, yeah, Vince, Quinton Presley from ASU, and you were listening, obviously, to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Go Varsity. Now, what we got going on later into the next segment is we have an interview with Saguaro head coach Darius Kelly, and we're going to be talking about the game last night and what Saguaro has for them moving forward.
Awesome. Nice work, Q. And, yeah, definitely stay with us. Tough one last night for the SaberCats as they went over and ran into a little bit of a buzzsaw in the Basha Bears. But we're going to hear from Coach Darius Kelly, who's going to break it down for us in his weekly segment. And, yeah, don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back after the break. Go Varsity.
Hey, Phoenix, Doug Gottlieb here. I'm bringing the best sports talk weekdays to you, 1 to 3 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
Hello, this is local voiceover model and former Daddy Yankee stunt double, Mario Malaby. Be sure to DM us your questions for Ask Lucas on Twitter. And you are listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
Hi, I'm Kaylee Sumner, and I'm very excited to work with Varsity Sports Show. I've been doing this since freshman year, and I just love filming, and I'm so excited to film on the field, so catch me on the field. Thank you so much. Bye.
The Varsity Sports Show is once again proud to partner with Grand Canyon University Club Sports in 2024 and 25. Join us in our coverage of GCU Club Sports on Saturday's Varsity Sports Show and the rest of the week. We'll cover hockey, soccer, baseball, rugby, lacrosse, and more. The Lopes are back on the Varsity Sports Show.
Catch the Doug Gottlieb Show weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and online at KDUS1060.com.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. I'm Quinton from Arizona State University, and joining us on the line is Saguaro Sabercats head football coach Darius Kelly. Good morning, Coach Kelly. Welcome to the program.
Good morning. Good morning.
So I just wanted to touch a little bit on the game last night. It seems like your guys were in some scoring positions, but it just ended up not working out. What was it like being in position to score down the line and in a close field position and not being able to get it done?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously frustrating. The guys are working their tails off trying to get things done and make plays. We're just not executing at the level that we should be.
What are some positive things that you saw from your coach last night? From your team last night, that what they were producing on the offensive side?
Yeah, I mean, I think our guys fought front. I mean, a lot of our guys, they kept playing hard and running the right plays that we're asking them to do. I think positively, we just fought our tails off. We just got to continue to get better and execute at a higher level. That was a great team we played last night. I will not take that off them. Basha is a team that is going to be playing in the Open this year, and then they played really hard and they played really well. But we just got to get better at executing on our end.
Yes, sir. I want to ask you about your freshman quarterback in Zelen Danielson, and how is his performance, his poise, and his decisions made with the football. How proud of him are you, and are you excited to see him develop this year?
Yeah, I'm really excited about Zealand. I mean, he's going to be a great football player going forward. He does a lot of great things for us. He's a leader on and off the field. He's just going to continue to grow. We just got to keep putting him in positions to continue to be successful. But he's going to be a great leader for us and a great player for us going forward. So I'm excited to see what happens with him in the years to come for sure.
Awesome. That should be very exciting. What are we looking forward to next week? You guys are playing Chaminade at your home field. At least you'll be able to have some familiar faces in the crowd. What should we look forward to for that game?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, we're getting back to basics in practice, getting back to the fundamentals and getting back to the things and just playing our type of football. And, I mean, we got a lot of guys on the field who hasn't played a lot of experience. This is a lot of these guys, their third week of varsity football, and they're going through some growing pains. We are. But we just got to continue to stay on our guys, fundamentally, from the fundamental standpoint, and just us taking care of what we need to take care of and playing the football that we should be playing here at Saguaro. And I think you're going to see a team who's going to be inspired. Our guys, they want to win. These guys, they want to win. They know what it takes to win. We just got to execute at a higher level, and we got to take care of things we need to take care of throughout the week. And, there's a lot of improvements that I've seen from this week to that, from last week to this week. And I think we just got to keep building on those things and do what we got to do to win these games. So, yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Coach Franch, for coming on the show today.
All righty. Thank you.
So very interesting. Coach Darius Kelly and Q, nice job on that. I had a chance to call the game last night with Kavish Siddhartha. Kavish did an outstanding job. It's tough because they're in the midst of rebuilding mode. Obviously, Saguaro had a lot of press in the offseason. Their coach, Zach Hill, came in 1 year, and fortunately, Coach Kelly had been with the program last year. He worked with the secondary and the receiving corps, which those are two areas right now that are really excelling. So it's a lot of what he did with those guys last year that has spilled over into this year. But they lost a lot of kids to transfers. They lost a lot of coaches to transfers, and that happens. It happens when a new head coach comes in and has to kind of put their pressure to put their own kind of imprint on a program. It happens everywhere. But let me tell you something. This is Saguaro. And you got 14 state championships, and it's not 14 state championships over a 50-year period. We're talking 14 over like a 20-some-odd year period. And so these guys, while they're in the midst of rebuilding this year, they got the right guy in the right job right now, and that's Darius Kelly. He is definitely all that. Mr. Matt Harris, who I saw last night at the game on the sideline, doing a great job in developing young coaches. And, as the AD, a lot of times there's two types of ADs. Ones that get it and ones that don't. And it seems like more often than not, I seem to be talking about the ones that don't. I know I'm not doing myself any favors because these guys, they're responsible for making a lot of decisions. But I've been in this industry for quite a few years and spent over half my adult life coaching. And you butt heads with a few, and you kind of know which ones are the bad apples, and you try to steer clear of them. But there are a few good ones. There really are. And Matt Harris is one of those guys, and a very, very unique diamond in the rough. He won a state championship as a basketball coach. He knows how to deal with people, and he is just that type of person. Plus, he's 6'10". He's kind of hard to miss in a crowd. But anyway, they're doing some good things over there at Saguaro. They got a freshman quarterback. They got some new players, a young squad. They've got a consistent wide receiver core, by the Whitaker brothers, Mason and Aiden, playing their hearts out. You got a solid running back in the backfield in Elias Johnson. You got some solid guys defensively that are stepping up and making plays, and a couple of guys going both ways. So there's an opportunity there. They got a strong feeder program in the lower levels. So the future looks bright. Unfortunately, a lot of times when you rebuild, you take a few lumps along the way, but it makes the winning part of it that much sweeter when it does happen. So hats off and to Saguaro. Nice job last night by Basha and Coach Chris McDonald. Not to take anything away from them because they dominated the game last night, but it's that's why we play the game. So anyway, Q, what do we have coming up?
What we have coming up is some more segments from our Varsity Sports Squad reporters.
Awesome. Take it away, Corey.
Good morning and welcome to KDUS AM 1060. My name is Alexandra Medina, and I am an ASU Cronkite sports journalism student. As the WNBA playoffs are just weeks away, each team's focus remains on two things: taking down the Las Vegas Aces, who have clinched the title 2 years in a row, and ending the season with another trophy in the case. As the league prepares for its biggest stars to meet on the biggest stage, at the end of the season, there is one team left trying to find its rhythm before it is too late. With 3 championships under the Phoenix Mercury's belt, the franchise is desperately looking for an answer after clinching a spot in the playoffs. The Mercury finished the 2023 season with 9 wins and an interim head coach, after head coach Vanessa Nygaard was released. Once Matt Ishbia became the owner of the Phoenix Mercury, the organization decided to give Portland Trailblazers assistant coach Nate Tibbetts a call. The team has been hit with a lot of obstacles over the last season, such as the coaching change, multiple players being out with injuries, and all the way to adapting after stepping inside of the first WNBA training facility that was built just a few miles away from the arena. While the Mercury may be struggling late in the season, the team still has 3 remaining games before the postseason begins. And while Tibbetts may be left at the center of attention, the Mercury will need to give the rest of the season its best effort to sit in a comfortable position when it comes to playoff matchups. For Varsity Sports, I am Alexandra Medina reporting.
Hello, I'm Travis Bradley with Varsity Sports Show, and this week we'll be going over the Week 2 preview for some of our standout rookie NFL sensations. Leading this week's list at quarterback, Caleb Williams of the Chicago Bears. The number 1 overall pick got off to a bit of a rocky start this season, completing only 48% of his passes for a total of 93 yards. He'll have to do a little bit better than that for Chicago offense this week as they take on the 1-0 Houston Texans. One thing the Bears have to look forward to is simply this: Winners win, and it may not have been nice to look at, but there's much to be said for a comeback win during Week 1. Many consider the Bears to be notable underdogs in this matchup, a true test for the rookie signal caller. Number 2 on our list, Joe Alt, offensive tackle of the Los Angeles Chargers. He had a tremendous Week 1, allowing 0 pressures when facing off against NFL standouts Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins on the defensive line. In all of the former Notre Dame Stars' snaps, he allowed just 1 total pressure while allowing no sacks or quarterback hits. The Chargers are the slight underdogs this week at -4.5 points as they take on the struggling Carolina Panthers on the road. Alt is still relatively new to the left side of the offense, so there's still much more improvement to be seen in the coming weeks. Xavier Worthy, wide receiver out of Kansas City, is coming in at number 3 on our list. Worthy reached the end zone twice in his first appearance as a professional football player, using his blazing speed to assist him both on the ground and through the air. Worthy truly is a standout athlete on the field. Coupled with Mahomes' ability to extend plays and find receivers open on their second or third window, Worthy looks to be a problem for defenses no matter where he lines up. The University of Texas grad will find himself in another tough matchup Week 2 as Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals come to Arrowhead this weekend. Worthy can only be expected to take on a larger role in the Chiefs' offense if he can continue to put up numbers like Week 1. Rounding out our list, and number 4 of rookies to watch this week is safety of the Houston Texans, Callan Bullock. Playing primarily at free safety in Week 1, this rookie standout from USC saw only 25 snaps during his first professional appearance. However, that didn't keep him from making an impact as he was one of only 2 defensive rookies to record an interception in Week 1. The Texans face off against the struggling Bears offense, and as we mentioned earlier, if quarterback Caleb Williams and his offense can't find some rhythm, it could be a very fun game for Bullock. Look for Bullock to continue to be a factor on defense in multiple schemes, positions, and scenarios throughout the rest of the season. That's all for this week's preview. I'm Travis Bradley. This is Varsity Sports Show.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Vince Delicio and Quinton Presley, and some amazing reporting from our good team here this fall. And Q, give us a little taste of what's coming up after the break.
After the break, Vince, we got me and you, a little bit more of me and you just talking it up of what the Varsity Sports Show has to offer and games we have coming up on the schedule. And then next, we have some segments from our fellow reporters like Jesse Davis's preview of the Cardinals versus Rams this Sunday, as well as Nicholas Furman's ASU Defense analytical breakdown. We also have Tommy Perez's North girls basketball team. That's a very good segment. So I'm very excited for that one. I'm sure the listeners will be too. And Reece Singler has a little package for Marvin Harisson. We will catch you guys after the break. Please stay tuned, and we'll see you after the break.
Every Monday night, check out Ray Adams as he hosts the Monday Night Golf and Lifestyle Show from 6 to 7 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060.
Hello, sports fans. This is Dick Stockton, and you are listening to Arizona's home of youth, high school, college, and you, the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona.
Show is proud to once again be the official broadcast team of the Hohokam Junior College Athletic Conference. We are back for another year of HJCAC football. We'll bring you the JUCO Game of the Week, on-site live coverage, weekly JUCO report on Saturday morning's Varsity Sports Show, and coming this fall, the weekly Coaches Show with Coach Doug Medoski. Stay tuned for more. JUCO football is alive and well in Arizona. Brought to you by the Varsity Sports Show and the HJCAC.
Hello everybody, my name is Saleh, and I am thrilled to be interning with the Varsity Sports Show this fall. I am from Chicago, Illinois, and sports have always been a huge part of my life. Being my last semester at Cronkite, I'm excited to learn as much as I can and be a part of this team here. I'm ready to put out content for Varsity Sports Show immediately and get started. Thank you, guys.
Hello, everyone. My name is Adrian Carmona, and I am very excited to be joining the Varsity Sports Show team as their Gainesville correspondent. I am a third-year sports media major at the University of Florida, and my dream is to become a sports broadcaster and radio host. I can't wait to provide you all with the best content and news surrounding Gainesville sports.
Check out KDUS AM 1060 on 100.7 KSLX HD2. That's right, HD radio on 100.7 channel number 2.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona. My name is Quinton Presley, joined by the great Vince D'Alessio, and what we have for you this week. Varsity Sports Show covers football coverage week in and week out. We send our reporters to the games, and we have play-by-play and color commentary coverage, but we also, what separates us from other high school coverage squads is that we actually have cameras, and it's more like a television broadcast. So it allows people like your grandparents, family that can't watch or come to the games live, they're able to watch your games from far away. So I think that's what makes us very special as an organization.
Well, and that's really what makes it fun. I mean, there's a lot of live streaming programs out there, but the thing that really makes us unique is that we do a full production of reporting. It's not just focused on what's happening on the field, but we also have to develop the next generation of broadcasters. And when I say that, I truly mean it in that our reporters also take front and center throughout, because they're having to tell a story throughout the game. And it's funny. I'm gonna pull this thing out. I've got to find it, but we had a few years back, one of our fine young broadcast interns by the name of Ryan Blank was calling a game for Canyon View back when we covered Canyon View a few years ago on the West Valley, and we had somebody call in that actually paid him a compliment. They recorded it. It was a voicemail. I don't know how they got my number, maybe through the school or something, but they left me a voicemail, and we made a little commercial out of it, and we would play it every so often, not just to embarrass the young man, but typically you don't get compliments when you're doing things well. When you're doing things well, nobody says anything, and that's okay. But when things aren't necessarily going well, you hear it from everybody coming out of the woodwork. But it's kind of funny. But I'll see if I can dig that out. We'll run it sometime during the show, and I think you'll get a kick out of it as well, Q. So what do we have coming up?
Yeah, man, Vince, we got a lot of exciting segments coming up. Like we said previously, Jesse Davis has a very stellar segment on his preview versus the Cardinals, of course, Arizona's football team versus the Rams this Sunday. I think that one's going to be an exciting one. There's a lot of speculation, like why Marvin Harisson wasn't more involved in the offense. There's some vague responses from Kyler Murray at the post-game press conference. So Jesse Davis is going to give us the ins and out on that. Nicholas Furman has an ASU defensive analytical breakdown package, which was very fitting because they just beat Texas State last Thursday, so 2 nights ago. That was a crazy game. We haven't seen ASU be this competitive since 2019. They're 3-0. I think they're going to be so important to the state of Arizona, and just they're the way they've been playing football. It's been very big as an ASU student myself. I love to see it. And
yeah, it's definitely nice to see the resurgence this season. It's been exciting and fun to watch. And you're pulling for every coach that puts the time and energy into developing a program. It truly is. And and a guy like Coach Kenny, Coach Dillingham, he's a homegrown product, and so you're kind of pulling for him, hoping that he has success, because it's great for our state, it's great for the high schools here, and really to put focus back on all the great things that we're doing. So it is a nice thing. Coming up, we do have Jesse Davis. Jesse, who was out at our game last night at Saguaro, did a nice report previewing tomorrow, Cards versus the Rams. And like you had said earlier, Nicholas Furman talking a little ASU defense, Tommy Perez, Tomasa Perez talking a little North High School girls basketball, and then, of course, our old buddy Reece at the University of Alabama is going to talk a little Marvin Harisson. So that being said, Corey, let's take it to Jesse Davis.
This is Jesse Davis from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication at Arizona State University, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. The Arizona Cardinals come into Sunday afternoon's matchup against the Rams with a record of 0-1, as they failed to hold on in a hard-fought game versus the Buffalo Bills. Some bright spots the Cardinals can look forward to coming into Week 2 is how effective their third down offense was, converting 7 of 13 tries, along with being able to establish the ground game with James Conner. Conner had 16 carries for 50 yards and a touchdown. Most importantly, the Cardinals will look to replicate the defense they disclosed in the first half, where they allowed just 7 points and were able to effectively contain Josh Allen and the Bills' offense. The Rams also find themselves with a record of 0-1 heading into Sunday's tilt, as they are coming off an overtime loss of 26-20 to the Detroit Lions on Sunday Night Football. The keys to the game for the Cardinals will be to establish the ground game early to take pressure off of Kyler Murray, along with generating a consistent pass rush against Matthew Stafford and not allowing him to get into a rhythm. With kickoff set for 1:05 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, it will no doubt be a huge game, as both teams are trying to avoid an 0-2 start to the season. From the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Jesse Davis.
I'm Nick Furman from Arizona State University, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. The Arizona State Sun Devils defense has been one of the highlights at the beginning of this college football season. The Sun Devils opened up this season against the Wyoming Cowboys. Arizona State was victorious in that matchup with a final score of 48-7. The defense was a standout that night, with the defense causing an interception and returning it for a touchdown on the second offensive snap for the Cowboys. On Wyoming's next offensive series, the Sun Devils would cause another interception. Later in the game, ASU's defense would score another touchdown with a fumble recovery. The Sun Devils defense only gave up 118 yards of total offense from Wyoming and only allowed Wyoming to cross midfield twice. The dominant defense from the Sun Devils carried over into Game 2 against Mississippi State last Saturday. Arizona State beat their very first SEC opponent in school history, and ASU's defense only gave up 24 total yards of rushing from Mississippi State, and the Sun Devils defense scored another touchdown, with the final score being 30-23. The Sun Devils lead the country in defensive touchdowns with 3 on the season. One of the reasons for this defense to be so dominant is the defensive coordinator Brian Ward and the transfers Coach Ward was able to bring in this offseason. This is Ward's second year as a defensive coordinator for ASU. His previous coaching stop was at Washington State in 2022, and the Cougars had one of the top defenses in the Pac-12. ASU's defense has 8 starters who transferred to ASU this offseason. 2 key transfers for this ASU defense are safety Miles Rouser and linebacker Keyshawn Elliott. Both came from New Mexico State, and both were the team's leading tacklers. Can Coach Ward and the defense keep the dominance going for the rest of the season? For the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Nick Furman, reporting.
Hello, welcome to the Saturday morning radio show. I am Tomasa Perez from Arizona State University, reporting with the Varsity Sports Show. As we begin to prepare for the upcoming basketball season, let's begin to take a look at the North girls basketball team. Beginning his 26th year coaching with the North girls basketball team, Coach Darius Shabazz still feels the excitement and energy walking into practice like it's still year 1. As the team begins to come off back-to-back section championships, he can't wait for the majority of his core team to come back and have a chance for a good season. One of the top 3-point shooters in the state, senior Ayana Good, one of their leading scorers, is making a return as a fourth-year varsity player. Another big player who was the Metro Region Player of the Year, sophomore Zelia Flores, is ready to play hard this new season. This team is ready to work hard, play as a team, and ready to be one of the toughest teams in 5A. Thank you. This is Tomaso Perez reporting for the Varsity Sports Show.
All right, welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. So, as promised, I wanted to run that little promo cue about the grandmother from Kansas that called us to pay our broadcaster, Ryan Blank, a compliment. Q, nice job today. We're going to transition after the break to our very own Olivia Prickett. And Quinton Presley, great job today. Let's run that promo. Go ahead, Corey.
My name is Sherry Miller, and I am calling because I watch your broadcast of Canyon View every Friday night because my grandson in Arizona plays for them. And I just want to tell you how impressed I am by the young man who does the, I guess you would call it play-by-play. He's very excited. He's very cute.
Yeah, that's funny. Anyway, so there was a little more to it, but we cut it down a little bit. But basically, Sherry Miller, the grandmother from Kansas who was watching her grandson, and she took the time to call and pay what our team a compliment. So we wanted to capitalize on that, and Ryan Blank really appreciated that. So he's gone on to bigger and better things after leaving us, but he was with us a stellar 2 seasons. And so anyway, but yeah, when we come back from the break, we are going to have more reporting, and we're also going to introduce our very own Olivia Prickett. I'm not sure. Olivia, are you on the line with us now? Okay. Q, are you still there? Q, did you disconnect? I believe he did. Okay, well, it's just me. So, guys, once again, I'm live from my parents' house here in North Phoenix, the Delicios. It is literally ground zero for all the buzz and activity and party time here that a couple of 80-plus-year-olds can have. So it's a lot of entertainment, but we're having a good time. Ma, are you doing okay?
I'm doing very good.
Are you sure? You hanging in there?
Yes, I'm happy to see you here.
Okay, all right. How about you, Pop? Are you doing good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. All right, guys, when we come back from the break, we'll see you here in a minute. Stick around here on the Varsity Sports Show. Go Varsity.
Hey, what's good, Varsity Sports Show? My name is Quinton Presley, and I'll be a senior at Arizona State University studying sports journalism. In fall 2024, I'll be joining the broadcast and production team, and I am very excited to be bringing coverage about high school and college sports week in and week out.
The AngryCrabShack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. AngryCrabShack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The AngryCrabShack in Tempe. Come ready to eat. APAC is your one-stop source for all your automotive and heavy-duty air conditioning parts, supplies, and equipment. They're family-owned and have been the Valley's go-to for all your auto AC needs since 1982. Whether it's for your everyday or vintage car, commercial, or off-road vehicle or equipment, APAC has you covered. Call APAC, AAPAK, the AC experts at 602-254-1116 and ask for the Varsity Special to get 10% off your purchase.
Hey everyone, my name is Stella Tai, currently studying at Arizona State University for a master's degree in sports journalism. This fall, I'll be an intern at Varsity Sports Show, looking forward to bringing the best sports stories around the country to you guys.
Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show, where our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating an unmatched platform to showcase talent both in front of and behind the microphone in radio, television, podcast, and live streaming. The Varsity Sports Show, still your home for youth, high school, college, and you in Arizona and beyond.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
This program is paid for by the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization, and its partners.
You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show, home of Arizona's youth, high school, college sports, and you, empowering education and enabling dreams right here on KDUS AM 1060 in Arizona. And now, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. It is hour number 2 this morning on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. My name is Vince DeLisio, and we're joined by a couple of special folks here, as we've been doing all semester long. We're in week 4 now. I can't even believe it. We're about a quarter away through the semester, but we're joined by a new broadcast team member. Her name is Olivia Prickett out of Cronkite. Olivia, how you doing?
I'm good, Vince. How are you doing?
Amazing morning, and welcome to the program. I know you put a lot of work into this week's show and getting things prepped and ready to go. Are you ready for this journey?
Yeah, I am for sure. I'm ready to hear from some coaches and talk about some high school football.
Awesome. Well, in addition to that, we've got an old friend of mine is joining the line. This show is just about friends, and we've a guy that I grew to admire through the years, who was actually the head coach for many years. He did 2 stints at my alma mater, Camelback High School. Now he's got a new gig. I don't know who in the heck talked him into taking this job, but you talk about a tough organization and developing young men at the next level. It is a lot of work. It's not just about stepping on the field and calling plays. I mean, you are recruiting, you're doing a lot of things, and it takes a special person to do that, and special people. And I know a few of them, and this guy is one of them. His name is Brandon McNutt. Coach McNutt, head coach of the Salt River Scorpions. Coach McNutt, how you doing, sir?
Excellent. How you doing, Vince?
Not too bad, man. You know, as always, it's always great to talk to you and get updates. We haven't spoken in a few months, and it's nice to see you've settled in well. And before I turn it over to Alyssa, how have the last few months been in running the Salt River Scorpions?
You know what? Well, you know how it is in anything. Just building and learning the ins and outs. I mean, it's nothing new. But just the positivity that anybody that sees us or talks or the outpour of support for the JUCO has been tremendous. It's just getting us settled, getting our name out, getting a better understanding. I mean, I don't know if you heard, but we almost got our foot in where MCCD is thinking about allowing this HJCAC back on their campuses. We're working towards that, and I think that would be a big boost.
Olivia,
Hey,
go
Coach
ahead. You had some
McNutt.
questions for Coach.
Yeah, hey, Coach McNutt. Great to hear that the HJCAC is, making a comeback. I just have a couple of questions for you. One being, what are some expectations that you have for your team going into tomorrow's match?
Actually, they're playing tonight.
Sorry.
Can you
I
believe
meant
it's
tonight.
Saturday?
Yeah, it is Saturday. Sorry,
Yeah.
California.
We lost a day
today's
there.
Match.
Oh, actually, you know what? We're expecting a really good match. I mean, you're talking about ACU. They've got actually an extra game on us because they got to play last week. We had an extra bye, so I mean, you kind of take that, both ways because we'll be healthier, but they got a little more experience from us. We're very athletic. We're going to be moving around pretty fast. Saw how they were with Papa Go, and I think it's going to be a great game. It's going to be our athleticism against their wing team, kind of smash mouth football.
Right, love that. Another question I have for you, are there any certain aspects that you and the team have focused on in practice in order to implement into gameplay?
Really, the biggest thing, especially that, you learn through JUCO versus the high school me teaching is really building the relationship more. I mean, these kids come, again, it's crazy because, they come in with more experience. I was actually talking to a kid yesterday. I was like, usually I'm sitting there telling the kid how to get in a stance or, what foot to put up. We're past that. It's really building those relationships and those trusts and getting people on the same page. So it's just it's more of the end of the high school thing when, in June versus the beginning kind of deal. So we've just been working on building relationships with the kids, them trusting one another. And it's been a great experience.
That's great. Yeah. Field bond, helps the team, and I love to hear that you guys are, implementing that throughout your team. One last question I have for you, Coach. This is your first game back at Camelback High School since leaving as the head coach position for the Spartans. How does it feel to return to a familiar field but coaching a different team?
Actually, it was funny because I got a couple of guys on my staff that were on my staff at Camelback, and we stepped on a Friday because we had a walkthrough. It just feels like home. So that takes that pressure off. You're not at somebody else's house. I get to see the beautiful Squaw Peak mountains in the background, and the big Spartan on the thing. So we're pretty relaxed. It's our house. So we're with that aspect of it, no stress at the end of the day. Just putting a great product on the field and competing at the end of the day.
I got to jump in because I love that question and to kind of build off of that. Coach, you were planning on taking a little bit of a break. And I told you, I knew this was going to happen. I knew you were going to get, bored. But I told you, Coach, that coach is coach. It's hard to take a break, especially when you're in the prime of your career. But whoever convinced you to jump back in did a masterful job because you're the right guy for the job, in my opinion. But what were some things? What was the allure of getting back so soon and taking the next step, taking a jump to working with college kids?
Well, like I said, the guy that talked me into it, got me thinking, at the end of the day. And I agree. It's kind of like, it's funny that you said that. It's kind of the same thing I tell kids because I'll hear from kids all the time from, going to high school and college, and they'll be like, Coach, I think I'm going to take a gap year, or I'm going to take a year out.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do it at the end of the day. You're in the routine, as much as, it's just like riding a bike at the end of the day. But once you take that time off, it's hard to get back on it. So, no, I really appreciate it. I'm having a great time. My stress is actually less just because probably the support at the JUCO level has just been great and the people around it. There's no negativity. Like I said, we were at one place and actually a teacher at GCC saw us, and they were all excited because they thought JUCO was back. And I said, well, we're headed that way. We're almost there. We're almost going to get back at it. And people are just excited. So, we're talking to MCCD, I think they're going to get on board and get the right people, like you said, getting the right people in the right position and do right for the kids.
As you recruit now, that's a big part of your job. Now, you used to recruit on campus for kids. Hey, come on out for football, give it a try. See what's out there for you. You never know, you may like it, you may do well at it, but you don't know unless you try. What's it like now having the ability to recruit not only locally but nationally?
Again, you learn so much. I wish, I think we talked about this when I had my 2 stints. I think they should allow people to have a little break maybe, and then come back because then you can reevaluate everything you've done and do it better. Me and my staff are already talking about certain changes that we're going to be doing for next year kind of deal because there's some positive as well as negatives. You're talking about getting kids out here, especially in this environment. And I'm talking about, with all the inflation and issues that are going getting them in the right place. So, we're building on, that's what I'm saying. It is so wide open and such a positive, but there are certain things that got to get done prior to that. So, at the end of the day that, this can get done. So, it's an open book, man. It's an easy write. You just, you got to start that first sentence. kind of deal. So
Yeah.
my staff and I are very excited about it. I mean, giving kids opportunity. I mean, once they get back on the field, it's just like we just talked about with myself, because they kind of, they get out of high school, they're talking about a little break, they've done the 7s on 7s and, 8 years, 10 years of football since Pop Warner. But once they get on that field and stay in education, they see it too.
Yeah. We're excited for you, Coach. Thanks so much for the opportunity. Thanks for giving us access. And for the HJC and AC in general. Coach Brandon McNutt, Salt River Scorpions head coach, kicking off tonight, 7 p.m., one of two games going on simultaneously. We'll be streaming the other game, the Maricopa Mustangs hosting the Gila River Hawks. But we have two field correspondents that are going to be reporting from your game, from your sideline, the entire time, pregame, halftime, postgame, throughout. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Alex Medina and Roberto Astorio will be at your place. And thanks again, Coach. Good luck, and we'll talk to you tonight.
Excellent. Talk to you.
All right. So joined on the line by our very own Olivia Prickett, one of our fine Cronkite broadcast journalism team members here on the Varsity Sports Show. And so, Olivia, it's it's definitely an amazing concept. I'm a product of the junior colleges. I'm a JUCO guy. We've got some of our team members also that were JUCO transfers and that are part of our team this semester. And it's for the young people that want to stay here in Arizona, that want to continue to develop, that want to work under some amazing mentors. I mean, you got the best of the best. I mean, you've got William Strother with the Papago Pumas. We saw his team last week. You've got Larry Kane with the Gila River Hawks. You got Brandon McNutt with the Salt River Scorpions, who's a local guy. He's a Central High School graduate. Give him a hard time because that was our rival at Camelback. Spent a majority of his teaching career, in fact, I think all of his teaching career in the Phoenix Union High School District. So this guy has a definite edge in that he's got the Phoenix schools locked up. So he's now dipping his toe into the world of recruiting for the colleges and working with the Salt River Scorpions and as their newest head coach. And then and four teams that are playing each other twice a year, and then having a couple of at-large teams as well that they'll face. It's going to make for an amazing formula, combination, and pushing these young people along after a year or two at this level, moving on to the next level and having opportunities. It's all about the opportunity and providing that mentoring and getting us back on track academically. I say this, I'm a Scottsdale Community College alum. I'm an artichoke, and SCC saved my life academically and taught me some direction, and the mentors that I had back then as well. And Shane Bates and Ken Giovando and John Avianantos, and those guys are names that are synonymous with junior college football and history here in the Valley. Those of you that have been here, at least 30 years know those names, and those are guys that had mentored me, and I came up through the ranks in learning from, and the teammates and the relationships built. So anyway, that being said, Olivia, are you excited for this hour? We got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be on here with the events.
Awesome. We have an amazing show. Do me a favor, if you would, Olivia, if you could preview, what do we have coming up after the break?
Yeah, after the break, we got an interview Vince did with GCU Club Soccer coach Vanessa Leyva. And then we have some ASU football previews, NL Wildcard previews, and even a preview on NFC West. We'll be right back after the break.
Guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona.
HD Radio is here for KDUS AM 1060. Check out your favorite shows and games on 100.7 KSLX HD2.
APAC is your one-stop source for all your automotive and heavy-duty air conditioning parts, supplies, and equipment. They're family-owned and have been the Valley's go-to for all your auto AC needs since 1982. Whether it's for your everyday or vintage car, commercial, or off-road vehicle or equipment, APAC has you covered. Call APAC, AAPAK, the AC experts at 602-254-1116 and ask for the Varsity Special to get 10% off your purchase. The Varsity Sports Show is proud to once again be the official broadcast team of the Hohokam Junior College Athletic Conference. We are back for another year of HJCAC football. We'll bring you the JUCO Game of the Week, on-site live coverage, weekly JUCO report on Saturday morning's Varsity Sports Show, and coming this fall, the weekly Coaches Show with Coach Doug Medoski. Stay tuned for more. JUCO football is alive and well in Arizona. Brought to you by the Varsity Sports Show and the HJCAC.
Hi, my name is Sarah.Singh, and I'm currently a rising junior at Arizona State University, more specifically the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communications. I'm so excited to be joining the Varsity Sports Show team this fall as a technical director intern, and I can't wait to see what we all achieve as a team.
The Thursday night high school flag football game of the week is back. 8 weeks of coverage beginning Thursday, September 19th. Every game begins at 6 p.m. Join the varsity team as we travel the Valley featuring your favorite teams, including Saturday morning radio segments. The Thursday night flag football game of the week is back on the Varsity Sports Show.
You are listening to the Varsity Sports Show. The Varsity Sports Show. Thursday night flag football game of the week. Flag football game of the week.
Ready to bring KDUS AM 1060 into your home with Alexa?
Hi, I'm Alexa.
Download the KDUS AM 1060 skill and enable. Then say, Alexa, open KDUS AM 1060.
This is where I start my day.
All right, guys, it is time for the GCU Club Sports Report. And as you know, we have been doing this the last couple of years. And this is year number 3 for us, season number 3. And we're so excited to continue this coverage because we are going to be featuring GCU Women's Club Soccer today, and brand new head coach Vanessa Leyva, who was recently named a couple of months back, has taken over the reins of the program and has been a big name in the Valley for a few years now, and particularly at the junior college ranks. So, Coach Leyva, thank you, and welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Coach, let's talk a little bit about your history. Now, you spent some time, you obviously were from the state of Arizona, spent some time in northern Arizona, came back down south and were competed and coached at Paradise Valley Community College. So you're a JUCO product. So talk to us a little bit about how being there developed you into the player and coach that you ultimately became.
Yeah, as you said, I am native to the Valley. Did a couple years up north in Flagstaff, played high school there, and found myself coming right back down for college. I kind of always knew college was a thing that I wanted to do. Very fortunate after school to come back to my hometown, if you will, at Paradise Valley Community College. I had such a great experience there as a player. We went on to go pretty far, win the state championship my freshman year, and a couple other things going through COVID and things like that. So really great time as a player, and I was really fortunate to be asked to come on board, as an assistant coach after college. And so very fortunate to work under some really great mentors as an assistant coach over for the women's program at PVCC, and was really just able to learn super hands-on, and as they say, kind of get thrown into the wolves, which I think for me was the best thing that could have happened. And so it kind of just led me to where I am now at GCU. And I think kind of just applying everything that I've learned at the JUCO world into being a head coach at GCU is just a very fortunate, blessed opportunity.
You know, what's interesting about the junior college game, any sport at the junior college level, is that you could be the top team one year, and the next year you're not. And so to continue to play at a high level requires constant, obviously constant coaching, but constant recruiting because the turnover. In reality, most of the turnover occurs, every other year, every 2 years. But sometimes you have someone for a year and they move on. But how has that prepared you for where you are now?
Yeah, I think adversity is a big piece of the pie when you talk about JUCO world, right? It's such a revolving door, as you said, and the recruitment's such a big piece of the success and the programs in the junior college world. And how do we adapt as a team? How do we adapt as coaches to the new players coming in, whether that be style of play, right? How we play, what the training sessions look like, and what have you. So I think just being in a position to just know how to face adversity on such a fast clock has really been pivotal, at least in my coaching career. And something I can bring on to GCU. In its own way, it's also a fast revolving door. So I think being able to change on a pivot and adjust to the kind of players we get every year and the style we want to play every year, and also the competition, right? This year we're in a new league, and so making some adjustments to ensure we get success this year, I think is going to be pretty important. What we've enjoyed about covering GCU Club is that there's 45 sports there that are all very vastly different, but the competition is extreme. I mean, it is competitive, and you hear a club, and sometimes you think in some schools you think rec league type of thing, but at a place like GCU and a handful of other places across the country, it is extremely competitive. There is a lot. The talent pool is very rich, and if you could talk a little bit about some of your leaders, some of your top performers, and maybe the skill sets that they bring to the table. Yeah, I mean, GCU's club sports, we're very fortunate, one, to just have a department that's solely dedicated to club sports. We've got faculty and administrators really working around the clock to ensure that these student athletes have the best experience and all the resources, as the NCAA side does. And so we're super fortunate to give the players an environment to compete, right? And to still get that collegiate experience and to compete at a high level at that, right? I think that in itself is such a fortunate position we've been in. As you look at your schedule, you're opening today, Saturday against ASU, and then next week NAU, and then ASU again, and then you head off in October for the Aztec Cup in against San Diego State and a handful of other teams, I'm sure, in San Diego. Strength of schedule, as you look, I mean, what do these teams that you're facing, what do they bring to the table? Yeah, I mean, hats off, right, to all the teams that we play every year. They give us a good run for our money. It's never a walk in the park, which I think is great for the girls. That challenges us and it gives us some adversity to face. The GCU Club Report with women's soccer coach Vanessa Leyva. Coach, good luck tonight. We're looking forward. We are going to be covering the match. Kicks off at 6 p.m. out at Coulter Field on the campus of Grand Canyon University. Head on out there or just watch the live stream. The link will be posted on all of our social media platforms. And Coach, thanks again. Good luck, and we'll see you in a few hours. Thank you.
This is Kavish Siddhartha from the Cronkite School of Journalism at ASU with Varsity Sports. ASU football is up and rolling as the Sun Devils start their season out 2-0, the first time since the 2021 season. ASU has had some impressive wins against Mississippi State and Wyoming, with their rushing attack proving lethal. Their schedule will only get more difficult as a big slate of Big 12 games are upon us. Let's take a look at ASU's upcoming schedule and the landscape of the new-look Big 12. The Big 12 is looking even more dangerous this year, with the additions of Arizona, Arizona State, Utah, and Colorado. Arizona and Utah were extremely competitive teams in the Pac-12 last season, and will surely be looking towards the title in their first year in the new conference. ASU will be taking on 2 Texas schools in the upcoming weeks, as they will play Texas State on Thursday, September 12th, and will follow up that matchup with their first inter-Big 12 game against Texas Tech. Coming into these games, ASU's rushing attack will be vital to their success. ASU's rushing numbers versus Wyoming and Mississippi State proved to be the turning point in both of those matchups. In a combined 2 games, the Sun Devils have amassed an absurd total of 587 rushing yards, the majority of which have gone to star running back Cam Scadabo, who has 311 rushing yards on 44 carries, which is an average of 7.1 yards per carry. Let's also take a look at the standings prior to ASU's game against Texas State. Numerous teams in the Big 12 have started out 2-0, but Arizona, ASU, BYU, and Iowa State are at the top. The Big 12 is arriving, and it's anyone's guess who will take home the conference trophy this year. That concludes my Arizona report with Varsity Sports. This is Kavish Siddhartha reporting.
The NL Wildcard race is on fire as the postseason is just around the corner. The Arizona Diamondbacks currently hold the top wildcard spot as they hold a tiebreaker over the San Diego Padres. The New York Mets and Atlanta Braves are battling it out for the final wildcard spot. The Mets have the slight edge as of now, but the 2 division rivals will face off in the second-to-last series of the year, which will most likely determine the final spot in the playoffs. The Diamondbacks are getting reinforcements as Ketel Marte and Christian Walker are back in the lineup. This will certainly be a must-see wildcard race as the 2024 season wraps up. Reporting for Varsity Sports, I'm Sam Lanier.
Hi, I'm Riley Garcia with Arizona State University, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. The NFL Week 1 has come to a close, so let's take a look at the NFC West coming off of Week 1 and into Week 2. The Cardinals started their season in Buffalo, but despite a good showing by the offense most of the game, the Cardinals narrowly lost the tough matchup to the Bears, while running back Kenneth Walker picked up 20 carries for 103 yards in their win. The Seahawks will be on the road in Week 2 as they take on the New England Patriots. And finally is the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers were at home Monday night against the New York Jets, where they took care of business with 8 consecutive scoring drives, winning 32-19. The highlight of the night was kicker Jake Moody, who went perfect, 6 for 6 on his field goals. The 49ers will head to Minnesota to play the Vikings, who also won in Week 1. Now looking at the standings, the 49ers and Seahawks are both atop of the division at 1-0, while the Rams and Cardinals are tied for third at 0-1. From the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Riley Garcia.
All right, we are back on am1060 KDUS, Phoenix. I'm Olivia Prickett from ASU Cronkite, joined here with Vince. We had some great insight from a few of our talented interns located here in Arizona. So far, ASU football has really put on a great show with a strong 3-0 start with their win against Texas State, the longest streak that they've had since 2019 for their first season in the Big 12. We also have a lot to expect from the MLB as the postseason is less than a month away, with the Phillies, the Dodgers, and the Brewers being the top contenders in the National League. Vince, what are your thoughts?
Oh, you know, what's interesting is that a lot of people, getting back to ASU and Texas State, a lot of people have been criticizing the program for having this scheduled game. It was Thursday. I think kickoff was, I don't know, around 4:30 our local time. But Coach Todd Graham years ago set this up as a recruiting tool for Texas high school athletes and wanted to do it during the week to get families engaged as, again, it was a recruiting tool when they negotiated. And nice thing about it is, you don't know what's going to happen. You go to hostile territory, you don't know if you're going to come away with a win, but sure enough, Devils did it. They're 3-0, and you talk about a good recruiting tool. I mean, they did it on a national stage during prime time for the rest of the country. It was a little early for us, but then again, we weren't going to the game. It was in Texas. So nice job, ASU. Kenny Dillingham and the powers that be that did this so far so good. Took his lumps last year in putting the program together, but things take time, and they're doing some good things. And Coach Dillingham, of course, having been on our show a couple of times. So Olivia, when we come back from the break, what's going on?
Yeah, after the break, we'll be here to interview Tyson Ditmore, the head of the football team at Horizon.
Stick around, guys. We'll be right back.
Need social information about KDUS AM 1060? Try KDUS1060.com, at KDUS AM 1060 on Twitter, and Facebook.com/KDUS AM 1060.
APAC is your one-stop source for all your automotive and heavy-duty air conditioning parts, supplies, and equipment. They're family-owned and have been the Valley's go-to for all your auto AC needs since 1982. Whether it's for your everyday or vintage car, commercial, or off-road vehicle or equipment, APAC has you covered. Call APAC, AAPAK, the AC experts at 602-254-1116 and ask for the Varsity Special to get 10% off your purchase. The Varsity Sports Show is proud to once again be the official broadcast team of the Hohokam Junior College Athletic Conference. We are back for another year of HJCAC football. We'll bring you the JUCO Game of the Week, on-site live coverage, weekly JUCO report on Saturday morning's Varsity Sports Show, and coming this fall, the weekly Coaches Show with Coach Doug Medoski. Stay tuned for more. JUCO football is alive and well in Arizona. Brought to you by the Varsity Sports Show and the HJCAC. The Thursday night high school flag football game of the week is back. 8 weeks of coverage beginning Thursday, September 19th. Every game begins at 6 p.m. Join the varsity team as we travel the valley featuring your favorite teams, including Saturday morning radio segments. The Thursday night flag football game of the week is back on the Varsity Sports Show.
You are listening to the Varsity Sports Show. The Varsity Sports Show. Thursday night flag football game of the week. Flag football game of the week.
Your caddy, Ray Adams, takes you beyond the 18th hole on Saturday mornings with Great American Golf from 6 to 7 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
I'm back, ay, doing my thing, I'm doing my thing. Ay, yeah, doing my thing, I'm doing my thing. I'm back, ay, doing my thing.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. I'm Olivia Prickett, and we are joined on the line by coach of the 3-0 Horizon Huskies, Coach Tyson Ditmore. Coach Ditmore, welcome to the program.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, we just have a couple of questions for you this morning. First off, congrats on the big win last night. Following three big wins to start the season, how do you and the team plan to keep the win streak alive?
Well, I mean, for us, I think we just have to continue focusing on us and how we're getting better each week. And, one of the good things about our schedule is that our competition level increases every week. Our opponents, they get better and better and better. So.
All right. With that, what are some things that you have been improving on in the team's offense?
With our offense, one of our goals this week was to run the football a little bit better, and I think we did a great job of that. I think we ran for 326 yards last night. Offensive line was immaculate. Jace ran the ball well. Bodie ran the ball well, and then Johnny Issett, all ran the football well. So that was big for us.
Yeah, I mean, you have an amazing team this year, and you do have some pretty big opponents. With that, who is one opponent that you were looking forward to facing this season?
There's right now looking at it, we've got our opponent this week, which is Pinnacle, and that's a big time game for us and always will be. And we're excited to get another opportunity to go and have some fun.
Yeah, I mean, congrats on the win last night again, and hoping for a great game against Pinnacle.
I have to jump in real quick. Hey, Coach, it's Vince here, and I apologize, Olivia. I got to ask this question. Who in the heck scheduled your major crosstown rival, like not even midway through the season? What is behind that, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, a couple of things with it. It's you know, we're not in the same region, we're not in the same class. You know, we got to do it outside of the region, and then the other you know, kind of thing that's tough is it's on a Thursday night too. So short preparation week.
I'll say, and these kids all know each other. They all grew up together. I mean, you talk about a build-up to a game, regardless of league, of conference, of division. This has to be. You know, I know every week is the most important week of the season, but you got to have had this one circled on the calendar. Come on, it's just us talking here.
No, it's 100%. It's always been circled. It always will, and we're so close in distance, and the kids know each other. It's always going to be.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, Olivia, I'm going to go back into my corner. Go ahead, resume. You're doing a great job.
No, it's great to hear from you, Coach. Thanks for joining the program this morning.
Awesome.
Of course. Thank you guys
All
for having
right.
me.
Coach Tyson Ditmore, Horizon Huskies, riding a wave. I mean, you talk about stepping into a situation, you know, and Coach Ditmore had been with the program in the past. He was a defensive coordinator there for a time and worked under another great head coach in Andy Litten, who's since moved on to Mountain View. But you talk about a pressure cooker. You know, it's one thing to step into a situation, Olivia, and I know you've been around sports enough that you know, you're having to take a program through a resurgence and a rebuilding year, but this is a machine that's already been moving, and there's a certain expectation, and that's, you know, it's a double-edged sword. It's nice when you become accustomed to winning, and that's the expectation, and that's the mindset of the community, but to actually be in the middle of it and have that placed on you, in addition to continuing to build and to put in a footprint on, you know, with your own philosophy, and hope beyond hope that it's going to be well received. It's working. It's working at Horizon, and we're you know, just a quarter into the season, playing a tough league. Tough division, even their non-league schedule. My gosh, their major rival that's just 3 or 4 miles to the west of them, to the northwest of them in Pinnacle, you know, not even halfway through the season, is going to be a true test. And, of course, we are honored and privileged, and thanks to the families in the community of Horizon Huskies, that we are getting to capture all this for them throughout the course of the year, for year number 3 for us. It's become family to us, and we get nervous butterflies for them. So, anyway, but that being said, it's great to have Coach Ditmore on with us every week and getting his insight. Olivia, what do we have coming up?
Yeah, next up we're going to hear from one of our Arizona interns, Julia Coyne, about Cam Scadaboo's stellar performance this season so far, and especially he did have an amazing game against Texas State on Thursday night. And then we're going to hear from Marcos Tisgai with an update on the Phoenix Suns. We'll be right back.
All right. Take it away, Corey.
I'm Julia Coyne with the Varsity Sports Show. Arizona State running back Cameron Scadaboo reached a career-high 262 yards against Mississippi State with 33 carries. This makes him the second highest Sun Devil in total rushing yards under Eno Benjamin. Benjamin had a high of 312 yards in 2018 against Oregon State. This performance for Scadaboo was extremely impressive, especially against SEC school Mississippi State. He helped them to start the Sun Devils off at 2-0 this year. He also received the AP Player of the Week across the nation for this performance. Scadaboo is in his senior year and second year playing at Arizona State. He played his freshman and sophomore year at Sacramento State, where he received Big Sky Conference Offensive Player of the Year and First Team All-League. Though Scadaboo has been one of Arizona State's most impressive players during his time here, this performance against Mississippi State has surpassed expectations for Scadaboo. In the last year, he struggled, only having a total of 783 yards on the season and an average of 4 yards per carry. He did have some minor injuries and illnesses that seem to play into this, but it seems that he has overcome this illness on the season. This year is going to be very exciting for Arizona State and Cameron Scadaboo for the first year in the Big 12. Winning their first 2 games and leading the Sun Devils, it's going to be interesting to see what else Scadaboo can do. With Varsity Sports, I'm Julia Coyne.
Hi, my name is Kiana Watchman from the University of Arizona, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. NAIA football begins for Arizona Christian University. With a packed schedule ahead in the Frontier Conference, ACU gears up for the Fort Lewis Skyhawks, an easy opponent across the Colorado Mountains. The history between these two teams is not extreme, in that the two times they played in 2022 and 2023, ACU beat Fort Lewis 52-12 and 49-25. Both strong defeats for the Firestorm should keep them motivated in another season opening win. Fort Lewis has already played their opening game against William Jewell College, which may give them advantage in regard to first game jitters. Although they suffered a loss against this team, Fort Lewis should be prepared for the game today. Notable players for Fort Lewis is 6'3" quarterback Stone Walker with 2 touchdowns and 160 rushing yards in their last game against William Jewell. Kicker Hunter Villavicencio also with 2 additional field goals. Villavicencio was named Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference Special Teams Player of the Week. I wanted to bring special attention to NAIA football. Fort Lewis is an NCAA D2 college, but has not stood as a tough opponent for Arizona Christian. The one misconception about NAIA football is that there's not enough competition. ACU's success against the NCAA school is only a glimpse for how successful NAIA schools are and how serious athletic programs are taken at these schools. Tune in to NAIA football at 1 p.m. today and watch live from Arizona Christian's football website as they play their season opener of the 2024-2025 season. And as always, bear down.
Coming off an offseason where they added multi-time All-Star Bradley Beal, the Phoenix Suns' 2023-2024 season was largely a disappointment after being swept by the Minnesota Timberwolves in round 1 of the NBA playoffs. In the series, the Suns dealt with a stifling Minnesota defense and were unable to get shots really falling. As for the season itself, they struggled to maintain continuity with guys being in and out of the lineup. Following the season, the Suns let go of Frank Vogel. He only spent 1 season with the team. And as for his replacement, they've brought in former Milwaukee Bucks head coach Mike Budenholzer, who will be the Suns' 3rd head coach in 3 years. Budenholzer, who was not in the league last season, won a championship with the Bucks in 2021. And considering their financial restrictions to add outside talent, the Phoenix Suns had a pretty positive offseason. They added Tyus Jones in free agency, formerly of the Memphis Grizzlies and the Washington Wizards. And he was brought in on a minimum contract, which is a really good deal for them. They also added quality talent in the draft, such as Ryan Dunn out of Virginia. Overall, it should be an interesting year for the Suns, with pressure rising on the organization to make strides after making regression last season. When you bring in a player like Kevin Durant, you're surely expecting to win championships every year, and the Suns haven't been able to do that. The first season with Kevin Durant, they finished in the 2nd round, and in this past season, finishing in the 1st round. It was surely a disappointment for the Suns franchise. Coming off a gold medal at the Paris Olympics where they were instrumental in the team's success, Devin Booker and Kevin Durant will have a massive part to play in the team's heights this year. For the Varsity Sports Show, this was Marco Sagai.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Vince DeLisio and Olivia Prickett. Olivia, how's the show going so far?
Great, Vince. We've heard a lot of good insight from 2 head football coaches, and we've heard about some amazing things going on in Arizona from a lot of our interns.
Yeah, some good reporting. I got to say, I mean, it's such a nice blend of content. We had Julia Coyne reporting on Cam Scatabo, the ASU running back, Kiana Watchman, who is going to be participating as our NAIA football media representative this season. She will be voting in the media poll for us and doing some reporting on NAIA football all year. And then Marco Sagai reporting on the Phoenix Suns. Guys, when we come back from the break, Olivia, what's coming up?
Yeah, after the break, we'll be hearing
We'll be right back. We got to go to
Holman.
break. Sorry. We'll be right back. Go Varsity.
Have you downloaded the KDUS AM1060 skill for Alexa yet?
Dude, Alexa is frustrated. No matter how many times do you ask, the answer is male, chicken.
Once you're ready, say, Alexa, open KDUS AM 1060 to listen to your favorite shows. The Varsity Sports Show live with Vince D'Alessio every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Features all the local youth, high school, college sports, and more, both around the Valley and beyond. Enjoy go-to segments with coaches and players from around the Valley. Tune in to the Varsity Sports Show with Vince and guests Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060, online at KDUS1060.com and the KDUS 1060 app.
We'll do what's best for the team, and we'll do what's best for you.
The Rich Eisen Show, coming to you weekdays from 3 to 5 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and KDUS1060.com.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Vince D'Alessio, Olivia Prickett, and the rest. We have had an amazing show this morning. A lot of moving pieces, a lot of moving parts. We're all working remotely today, and I'm here in my my North Valley studio here. It's a fancy way of saying my parents' house. And then Olivia Prickett in another part of the Valley, dialing in from home on our special app that we use for our broadcast team members and others, all of our amazing guests, contributors. What a show it's been. A lot of moving pieces, and hats off to our in-studio producer behind the glass, Mr. Corey Walsh, who's doing a great job today. And it's been quite a show here. You know, we're moving right along. I want to, what I'd like to do is, before we transition to our next segment and reporting, Olivia, I wanted to ask you, first of all, we didn't get to know you exactly, and I want to know, exactly what your thoughts are in joining the Varsity Sports Show this semester, how the experience has been, and be truthful, be honest, it's okay. It is a little bit of work, but what are you thinking so far?
Yeah, Vince, I'm really excited to be with the Varsity Sports Show this fall. I mean, like Quinton said in the first hour, it's all about opportunity, and that's really the big part as why I joined Varsity Sports Show, along with, the love of sports. And I've been lucky enough to be able to do the pregame and postgame show for the Varsity Live and report live for the radio show this morning, as well as do some football coverage. So I'm really excited for what the semester is going to bring.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we have a lot of team members. This is our largest group yet in the years that we've been doing this, and it's fun, because you got a lot of blended ideas that are coming together and people from different backgrounds. I mean, this semester alone, we've got the largest group that we've ever had from Cronkite and the largest group that they've ever had in working in one media entity. And we've got 35, and we've got all you guys here locally, boots on the ground, and then we've got Jameer Johnson, who is an ASU virtual Cronkite student out of Indianapolis, Indiana. And then we have 2 from Temple University. We've got 2 from the University of Alabama. We've got 1 from the University of Florida. We've got 4 from the University of Arizona. We've got 1 from UNLV, University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and more. I know I'm missing. Oh, Texas. We got Houston. Hey, by the way, guys, this next week, we are starting the Houston High School Football Game of the Week broadcast from Houston, Texas, Houston ISD Independent School District. We're going to be doing a Game of the Week on the NFHS network with our team, our crew. We've got 4 very talented individuals that are going to be delivering a Game of the Week broadcast starting kind of off days. Next Saturday will be the first one, and then most will be on Friday night. We might have 1 or 2 Thursdays sprinkled in there, but stay tuned for that. A lot of fun stuff, a lot of talent. The stadiums in Houston are amazing, massive high school stadiums. A lot of good stuff. So stay tuned for that. We've got Texas Southern covered. We've got University of Houston covered with our intern team. So a lot of good stuff. And then a couple of high schoolers, talented high schoolers that have joined us as well. Only talented. It's been amazing. We've had an incredible time, incredible ride, and we continue to grow. And I'm grateful to all the work from our amazing team that they are doing to continue to grow and learn and have open minds and keep to our 3 rules. Olivia, I'm putting you on the spot. Do you remember our 3 rules?
Yeah, be early, be flexible, and be nice.
Oh my gosh, you got it down. Yeah, 3 rules. We go through them every week. It's not rocket science. If you can follow those 3 rules, be early, be flexible, be nice, and I get tested on those frequently myself, you're going to be successful not only in this in this format, but in life, I think. And that's just my opinion. I haven't been here as long as others, but it's words to follow and can be very insightful. So, Olivia, what do we have coming up next?
Yeah, next up we will be hearing from Florencio De La Torre about some Round Valley High School, some Diamondbacks versus Rangers coverage, and from Nicholas Anderson about a youth triathlon here in Litchfield, Arizona. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, this is Florencio De La Torre from the Sidney Poitier New American Film School at ASU, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. And today, I'm coming at you with a feel-good story out of Eagar, Arizona. Last Friday, September 6th, Round Valley Unified School District and Round Valley High School renamed the Round Valley N-Sphere after the late and legendary Round Valley football coach, Todd Workman. Round Valley High School football did it in fantastic fashion as well. The name-changing ceremony was held at halftime as the Elks defeated their rivals, St. John, 36-0. The now-named Todd Workman Dome was an $11 million construction project that opened in 1991. It is the only domed high school football stadium in the country. The one-of-one stadium is the perfect homage to the one-of-one Coach Workman. Coach Workman led Elks football to 100 victories in his first 10 seasons with the program, achieved multiple undefeated 12-0 seasons, set a state record 34 consecutive wins, and led the Elks to back-to-back state championships in 1979 and 1980. Coach Workman was inducted into the National High School Athletic Coaches Hall of Fame in 1989, the Arizona Coaches Hall of Fame in 1990, and the National Coaches Hall of Fame in 1999. Coach Workman's legacy of winning, hard work, and grit is now forever immortalized with a sign outside the Todd Workman Dome that reads, Todd Workman Dome, Elks #1, second to none, Coach Workman. Thanks for listening. This has been Florencio De La Torre with the Varsity Sports Show.
What's going on? It's Cooper Holman coming at you with a series recap of the rematch of the 2023 World Series, the Texas Rangers versus your Arizona Diamondbacks. Even though it can be dusty out here in Arizona, the Diamondbacks gave fans another reason to break out the brooms as they complete a 2-game sweep on the defending champs. After Sunday's 12-6 primetime win in Houston, the Bats were just like the weather in Arizona, still hot, scoring 20 runs in a 2-game set. Tuesday's win was headlined by a shutout as the D-backs rolled in a 6-0 victory. Jock Peterson got the offense started in the first inning with a 450-foot bomb to right center field that carried over the pool. And speaking of pools, Christian Walker made a huge splash in his first home game coming back from the IL, going 3 for 4 with 2 home runs and 3 RBIs. Wednesday's getaway day meant an early start for the D-backs, and starting early is just what they did. The Snakes scored 5 runs in the first 2 innings, headlined by Randall Grichuk's 200th career home run and Eugenio Suarez's 27th homer of the year. Big congrats to Randall Grichuk. In Wednesday's 14-4 win, Ketel Marte picked up 4 RBIs in his 31st homer of the year, and rookie catcher Adrian Del Castillo had a big day behind the plate, picking up 3 RBIs in his 4th homer of his career. Merrill Kelly pitched a solid 4 innings of ball before being removed from the game for injury after walking Leody Taveras to begin the 5th. The Rangers had their chance to tie the game in the 5th as the bases were loaded whilst the score was 8-4. Kevin Gingle would come in and shut the Rangers' opportunity down as the D-backs would be on cruise control for the rest of the game. Jordan Montgomery would come in and pitch the last 3 innings of the game, earning his first career save. Also a big shout out to Eugenio Suarez, who went 4 for 4 and had a chance to hit for the cycle, but instead he crushed his 2nd homer of the game, the 16th multi-homer game of his career. It was a great start to the homestead for the D-backs as they start the weekend series against the Milwaukee Brewers. This has been Cooper Holman from the Varsity Sports Show with your D-backs update.
This is Griffin Engelberg from the University of Arizona reporting for the Varsity Sports Show.
The 154th annual Copper Pick rivalry match took place this Friday in Bisbee, Arizona. The Bisbee High School football team once again faced their biggest rival, Douglas High School, in a game that has so much history and stories under its wing. Friday night lights have never been more electric, as what felt like the entire Bisbee community was in attendance at the Warren Ballpark, ready to proudly cheer on the Bisbee Pumas. Tailgating is not something that occurs very often for high school football, but here it's different, as family and friends around the community gathered outside the stadium, grilling up hot dogs and playing cornhole. The history of this rivalry goes back over a century, and recently Bisbee has lost to Douglas the past 3 years. It is safe to say that the seniors on the Pumas were eager to finally get a win for their community. The game was intense, with Bisbee controlling most of the ball on offense. However, in the last moments of the fourth quarter, the Pumas threw what felt like a detrimental interception while they were in the lead 26-20. Giving Douglas the ball back in good field position with less than 2 minutes left on the clock. However, star defensive back, also the quarterback for Bisbee, Sebastian Lopez, had a massive game-winning interception that sealed the win for Bisbee. The crowd and team was ecstatic, chanting "We won the pick" and pouring Gatorade on Coach Carlos Lopez, who is a Bisbee native himself. This is Griffin Engelberg with the Varsity Sports Show. Thank you for your time.
This is Nicholas Anderson from the Hanks Greenspun School of Journalism at UNLV, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. This week in Lynchfield Park, Arizona, the Arizona Swim, Bike, Run Youth Triathlon kicks off once again as another exciting triathlon for youth across the valley kicks off. This event is a USAT-sanctioned event, meaning the USA Triathlon provides insurance to the event so it can take place. USAT will also cover each participant in case of an accident during the event. Additional benefits are all race results are reported to USAT, and each participant gets national rankings. This event has 3 different divisions. The first in the 6 and under division, where contestants will have to do a .25 yard swim, a .53 mile bike ride, and a .3 mile run. In the 7 to 8 and 9 to 10 year old divisions, contestants will have to do a 100 yard swim, a 1.06 mile bike ride, and a .75 mile run. Finally, in the 11, 12, and 13 and 14 year old divisions, contestants will have to do a 150 yard swim, a 2.12 mile bike ride, and a 1.25 mile run. At the end of the race, there will be rewards for each age group for boys and girls, the top 3 boys and the top 3 girls. There will only be a limit of 130 total contestants, so don't miss out on an opportunity to show out and have fun in this year's Arizona Swim, Bike, Run Youth Triathlon. While racing, please be mindful of the heat, as Arizona's climate can be hot, even in the early mornings, so hydration and sun protection are crucial for competitors. Visit the Arizona Swim, Bike, Youth Triathlon official website for more additional details on starting time and the cost of the event. This event promises an unforgettable experience marked by physical endurance, mental resilience, and the camaraderie of fellow competitors. From the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Nicholas Anderson.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. Oh, sorry, Olivia, go ahead. I just stepped on your toes.
Oh, you're okay. I just want to say welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show on am1060 KDUS. I'm reporting live from the heart of downtown Phoenix from ASU Cronkite. One story from those segments that really stood out to me was the tribute to Coach Workman at Round Valley High School. Gotta love those feel-good stories. That's really what makes, high school sports so special.
You know, when I was in high school, I used to I went to camp with Mountain View, the Toros. I was at Camelback High, and we went up to Coach Workman's camp at Alpine and at Round Valley, and quite an experience. Coach Workman, great guy, has since passed away, but a real staple of the White Mountain community. And so, yeah, definitely tribute to him, and he was a coaching legend. And talk about other legends. You know, I'm here at my parents' house, Anna and Pasquale Delicio. Before we sign off, I'm going to give you guys a couple seconds to say something. So, Pop, let's start with you. What do you want to say? Have you enjoyed the show?
I enjoy the show.
Yeah.
And I enjoy to see you home.
Yeah.
I enjoy everything.
How old are you right now?
In December, I'm going to be 89.
89 you're going to be. Okay. All right. And the picture of good health, you like to garden. And Mom, what about you? How are you doing?
I'm 80. I'm going to be 83 October. I'm not healthy because I have a cancer.
Yeah.
I enjoy the show very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vincent. I'm proud of all of you. You did a great job.
Okay.
Love it.
All right. Thanks, Ma. Appreciate it. All right, Olivia, I'm going to turn it back over to you, and live from my folks' house, and as well as the downtown Phoenix, Olivia Prickett, take us home.
To our team of broadcasters across the country, today's amazing live guests, Brophy Prep head coach Jason Jewell, Saguaro coach Darius Kelly, Horizon coach Tyson Ditmore, and Salt River Scorpions HJCAC head coach Brandon McNutt. Thanks to Vince's parents, Anna and Pasquale. Check us out on X at Varsity Show, as well as Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And thanks to our producer, Corey Walsh. Make sure to join us back here next Saturday at 9 a.m. on am1060 KDUS. On behalf of our co-host, Quinton Presley from ASU Cronkite and Vince D'Alessio, I'm Olivia Prickett from ASU. And you are listening to the Varsity Sports Show. Go Varsity!